everyone. My name is Puraskar Thadani. I'm the editor for Elite Magazine India. And today we're shooting for Elite 40 Under 40. We're shooting with Malika Sadani, who is the founder of Momsco. Hi, Malika. How are you doing?
Very good. Thanks for having me.
We are very happy to have you as part of Elite 40 Under 40.
I'm super excited as well.
Well, it's amazing. How has the Momsco journey start? It's amazing to see your brand grow and do such amazing things. But I'm sure a lot of people would love to know your story behind the brand.
So it started from a very personal journey. I've got 2 daughters. And when I moved back from London, I was looking out for natural, safe, and effective options for my daughters. And when I reached out to a lot of moms asking them what was their choice of brand, it was really surprising that not one brand came up as a choice of brand for all the mothers. And that's where sort of the journey kind of started off from. And then when I was expecting my second daughter, I realized there's absolutely nothing available for pregnancy. And that's where I think, that was a spark where I said, I must start something by looking at the mom and catering to all the needs that she has. So we now have solutions for pregnancy, baby care, and also complete skincare for moms.
I'm sure there's a huge market out there, and but looking at the products, how was it all research based, or how did you get to the products? Because I also have a 2.5-year-old daughter, and I know my wife is extremely cautious, looking at product. I think knowledge has changed a lot of things. Earlier, people only used to go with regular brands, most advertised brand, I should say. But now I think people have changed the way, and they're very cautious on and COVID has increased, I think,
measures on safety.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what all, which product was the first start? What was the research behind it? Sorry, I'm trying to get more into it, but I'm sure a lot of moms would love to know that.
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant question. I think, when a mother decides to find the best solutions for her child, it sort of sparks a very high degree of caution for her. And that's when she starts looking at literally everything under the sun. So for me, when my first daughter got an allergic reaction, and unfortunately my second daughter was born with child asthma, I was looking at the back of pack and questioning every single ingredient that was put. And when I did that, I realized there were so many chemicals that were put into the product which are actually not safe. And that's where the journey started off from, right? And it wasn't easy because it wasn't that I had a background in this. I have a background in, engineering and MBA. It's very different for me. But having said that, it was just the determination to create something which I could use confidently and fearlessly on my children. And that sort of got me to looking, reading, reaching out to a lot of experts across India, Australia, and Switzerland, speaking to a lot of toxicologists based across the globe to figure out how do you define safe, and that's where it all started off from. How do you define safe? What are the measures? What are the tests I can do to ensure that what I'm releasing in the market is actually the highest quality of safety, right? And I didn't want my children to compromise. And also, if you see that there's a tagline below the Momsco which says love without compromise. And that's what we really stand for. We wish no mom has to compromise in the way she has to bring up her children or look after herself after she's sort of been a mom for a while.
That's amazing. But even looking at the entrepreneurship journey,
yeah.
I'm understanding the brand, and it's wonderful to see what you're doing for the brand perspective. But as an entrepreneur, as a mom entrepreneur, I should say, that's an amazing journey. You got an idea, you saw a need in the market, and you went out there and created your own brand. It's a wonderful thing. What was the thought? Were you all spearheaded on that? Okay, fine, there is a market need, because I'm sure there are a lot of women entrepreneurs out there who I believe they know a lot of things. I mean, they can see a lot of gaps in the markets, but to take that journey, take that one step and go and become an entrepreneur, or take their, follow their dreams. How would you help them out? For example, if you like to say something to them, what would be your point? Where should they start as of?
Yeah. So I think the first thing that you need to do is, if there's something that's keeping you up at night, I always tell people it's maybe worth really losing your sleep over. Entrepreneurship is not an easy journey. And it's going to keep you up for nights and nights altogether. And you have to be up for it, right? So you should be really passionate about what you're looking to build. And once you have that thing that's not letting you sleep in the night, I think the first thing you do is get started. The first step towards entrepreneurship is actually figuring out what you want to create after you've figured out the gap in the market, and actually going ahead and working towards launching that product. And the second thing that you do is, as an entrepreneur, I tell everybody this, right? You're not supposed to know everything under the sun. But it's your important duty to make sure that everyone around you forms an ecosystem so that they can do the best for the brand or for the product that you want to launch. So what I did, the next step was I got a lot of mentors. And the mentors trained me on brand building, sales, operations, because there's so many different verticals of what you're looking to do. So just surround yourself with really smart mentors who can help you grow in this journey. So one, get started. Second, just surround yourself with really smart people.
That's amazing. That's, you see it, you make it sound so easy, but
No, it's a very hard journey, and you have to sign up for a really hard journey. But it's really rewarding, like when you see people use your product, when they give you feedback on what you're using. I think it's a really, really rewarding journey in itself.
No, I totally agree. I mean, I'm sure a lot of moms out there will be really thanking you for creating such amazing products. And we're very happy to have you as part of Elite 40 Under 40. And I
Thank
think
you.
that journey of inspiration that you're going to be driving through so many young entrepreneurs out there, so many moms as well out there, that, if you feel you can actually become an entrepreneur. But one thing more before we end the conversation, also about building the brand. You have built an amazing brand as well. A lot of people I meet that they have ideas, but I think they feel not that confident looking at the brand. They look at, like, for example, the industry that you're in already. There are big world brands out there. They're larger than life, and trying to create a space for your own is something which is huge, and you have done it quite extensively well. But a lot of people out there, they go like, okay, my God, I cannot compete with a global brand, or there's such a big cosmetic brand. I cannot compete with that. Or it's a 1,000 crore, 5,000 crore company. Whereas, how can my small company even stand next to that brand? But was it a mental thing that you said, okay, fine, we're gonna go through it, we don't care, we are gonna try our level best? Or was it a pre-planned stuff? Or because your brand has really cut through the competition, how did that happen?
I think it was very honest. As a brand, we were always very honest. I wanted to create something that I could use on my children. And when I created that with that honesty, it showed in the product, in the communication, and the way we stood for the brand. And that kind of hit home with a lot of other consumers. And they sort of latched onto that, what we had to say. And they believed in our story. And they were the first people who gave us the first chance. And, I think it's all about getting those first set of evangelists for the brand, because they as a community get far more people for you, and then of course your community keeps growing, right? So I think what we really stood for was the fact that I genuinely wanted to create really good products that were world class, based out of India, and that I could use on my family. And that's, I think, what was a story that hit home for a lot of people.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Malika. It was very nice having you on
Thank you.
board.
Thank you for having me.
We are looking forward for you to inspire more people and new products from your brand.
Yes.
We are very happy to have you on Elite 40 Under 40.
Thank you very much. Very excited.
This is Puraskar Thadani from Elite Magazine India. Follow us on our Instagram and also on our YouTube for more stories like this. And keep tuned in for Elite 40 Under 40. This is Puraskar Thadani signing off.